Obviously, I'm the right man for the job. I haven't been around for a long time. I know. But you know what? Jaguar brought me back. Jaguar brought me back, guys. Everybody knows exactly what's going on. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. My name is Alejandro, and as you guys know, we're here to talk about cars. Probably not so much about cars, but more car brands today. Rather than just one car uniquely, we're going to talk about a brand. We're going to talk about these companies that make everyone's dream, and they present it in the form of a car. We all love cars. Who doesn't like cars? And we've lived through many great years. I think the best years for any car aficionado are happening now. Like the last decade has been incredible. We went from just having regular cars with turbocharged and supercharged engines to hybrids. Then we went to full electric, and now we're going to performance driven hybrids. And it's been fun. It's been great. We're seeing a lot of things, a lot of brands transitioning, no pun intended. And a lot of these things are happening. But today we're going to talk about Jaguar's problems. And obviously, we're talking about that disgusting campaign that they just launched. And it's disgusting because it's stupid. It's retarded. It's insane that someone's getting paid millions of dollars to do this. And we're going to touch all over it. Maybe stay away from it so we don't get me too by this. But you understand what I'm saying. We're definitely going to get all over this. And also, I'm the right man for the job. I'm the right man for the job because I imagine your favorite YouTuber that talks about cars can't say anything bad about Jaguar because otherwise no one's going to loan him a car. That would be terrible. So what happened exactly is what we're going to start with. And I think everybody at this point knows. A few days ago, our friends at Jaguar decided that they were going to release a nice little video. I'm not going to play the video because that way, if they don't like what I'm saying, they can take my video down, even if I'm talking to them, because this is how it works. So I'm not going to play it. But you see the colorful characters right there that are part of the presentation of the video. It's not clear what's a man and what's a woman, which is perfectly fine, but it's part of their campaigning and it's all colors. So everybody saw this. They came out with this commercial and everybody was wondering what the fuck, because there's not a single car in sight. So it's just like these people doing really, whatever things. And everybody got really upset at Jag. They were like, copy nothing. And then they showed this, a horrendous looking back of a car. And now this, so that you don't forget that they also produce cars. And this is what's happening right now. Okay. So now that you're up to date on what happened to Jag, like what they did, what exactly is it that they did, which is this horrendous marketing campaign targeted to nobody, the backlash from everyone has been absolutely insanity. The comments on this page are probably the greatest comments I've ever read in my life. So, Elon Musk, do you sell cars? Yes, we'd love to show you. Join for a cup in Miami, December 2nd. Yeah, dude, Elon Musk is going to go check out your shit cars. This is awful. He doesn't speak to anyone. He lost the purpose of the brand. Listen to what people are telling you. We're striking through the convention. Boycott Jag, hello. Thanks for the feedback. We'll pass it to the other team. Where's the car? The story's unfolding. Stay tuned. Edgy, will it sell cars? Consider this the first brushstroke. Now, they seem to be really confident about what they were doing. And even they doubled down on this. Now, before I showed you what the marketing strategist at Jaguar said, I want you to know this. While I'm just a fucking loser in life, and I'm just an old guy that pretends to be a car YouTuber, well, that doesn't want to be a car YouTuber anymore, right? Like, that's what I am a marketing expert. No marketing expert. And this is the problem, because all marketing from big companies and all marketing from Hollywood had to move into new directions and they had to go to new places. And not a lot of people know this. The reason why everything in social media sucks dick is because all of the Hollywood marketers that don't know what they're doing are now there. And now they're sharing all of the terrible things that they didn't learn while they worked in Hollywood. And I know that because I also worked in Hollywood in the movie business. And I also brought Leo Messi to Mexico to play a game where we hired one of the biggest and largest marketing companies in the United States that charge us $30,000 a month to absolutely do nothing. Then I became a YouTuber. I became all these things. But the one thing that I can say is I am an expert at marketing. And none of these companies, none have experts at marketing. None. And the reason why is simple. If you really were an expert at marketing, you would be able to be famous yourself or be able to use your marketing skills to use through others to get really rich. Because you're not good, you're going into an agency or you're opening an agency, providing a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. This is what everyone does. Do you think that all of a sudden everyone became a marketer and everybody knows what they're doing? No, we got the diarrhea that we're getting in social media. All women that go up to the screen and all men and do. Who the fuck does that in real life? And let me tell you something, guys. Your social media is your real life. So let me show you what the man in charge of marketing replied, because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that this is real and that we're talking about it and that these people have a job. And we're going to break it down, guys. We're going to break it down as soon as I'm done with this one. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, no need to have me there. There you go. Jaguar defends woke rebrand. Jaguar's managing director, Rodon Glover, what an interesting name, defended the brand's woke rebranding after the backlash over the new logo and ad that didn't feature cars. Glover called the campaign a move away from traditional automotive stereotypes. That's great. That's phenomenal. You're going against the grain. You're a real innovator, bro. Aiming to attract younger, wealthier customers as Jaguar transitions, no pun intended, that they use trans people on the show, to all-electric vehicles. Their rebranding includes a minimalist double J logo and a shift focus ahead of its electric GT launching in a year, priced above $100,000. This is the Financial Times. And I think with this, I can stop sharing my screen. Number one, the first thing I thought when I saw this rebranding was the following. I was like, man, it's going to suck being like a person that owns a Jag dealership. Imagine you own a Jaguar dealership and you're not selling anything, because I don't know how many of you guys know. Let's get into the actual thing, right? Like, let's get into the cars. Jaguar used to sell about 120,000 cars a year in the United States back in the day, way back in the day. Now that number has diminished to an impressive 8,000 cars a year in the United States. That was 2023. I'm sure 2024, they've sold probably 12. Now, here's the thing. If you have a problem for sales, you need to make sales on your car. That's what you're doing. Literally, this dude told us, right, that we want to attract younger, wealthier customers. That's what they want. Do you know how many people in the population are trans? 1.2%. So you created, this is a genius, a marketing genius. Remember, this man probably makes $2, $3, $4 million. That's what they pay. And he's a senior guy. He's got like the white beard. So he's probably making like, let's say $3 million a year, this man. And he was like, listen, we need to sell more cars. Okay. So in order to sell more cars, we need to appeal a larger amount of people. So what we're going to do is focus all of our efforts and campaigning. Sorry, this is a little Trump that I love doing. It's just the greatest thing that of his hands. We're going to focus all of our efforts, everything that we're doing today, everything, absolutely everything we're doing today, so that we can get that 1.2% of the people. Does that make any sense to anyone? Of course not. If you're watching this, you know that this is wrong. It's not wrong because of what they're doing. It's just wrong in principle of marketing, nothing else. Because if you're looking to enhance your brand awareness all around and you want other people to buy your car, you don't just segment and attack 1.2% of the population of a country in order to get more clients. And if you go to other countries, that population percentage is actually lower before anyone says, well, probably in other countries, that population percentage is higher. No, it's actually lower. So this moron, I'm sorry, this man that makes $3 million a year is saying, I'm saying this is probably what he makes. I hope he makes that because, my God, He's saying that he wants to appeal to more people, but he's willing to sell to 1.2% of the population. This is the most ridiculous and retarded thing anyone can do. So now put yourself in the shoes of all the dealer owners. Because, dude, like I said, they sold 8,000 cars last year in the United States after selling like 60 some thousand in the I think 4 years ago they were selling 60 something thousand. So they're completely getting rid of themselves out of the market, right? And you're probably getting a lot of chatter from dealers, like owners of dealerships, going like, dude, what are we doing to sell more cars? Because I'm buying all these cars from you, because a lot of people might not know this. A car is considered sold in the United States once the car maker sells it to the what's it called? Once they sell it to, oh my God, once they sell it to the dealers. Once they sell it to a dealer, it's completely considered like you're good to go. Don't worry about it. Let's go. All right. So that's considered a sale. So these people are sitting on a ton of Jaguars and they want to sell them. So at some point, someone called them from Jaguar Corporate and was like, guys, I know you've been dying to sell more cars. Everybody knows that. I know that we are an older brand, that we don't get a lot of respect. We don't get a lot of people to really want to jump on our bandwagon. But here's the good news. We hired Don Glover, and he's going to absolutely do everything he can to move away from traditional automotive stereotypes, and he's going to aim to attract a younger, wealthier customer base as Jaguar transitions into all electrics. Man, that sounds great. I can't wait to see what Glover is about to do. Like, this guy is going to change my life because I have millions of dollars sitting in here. And then comes the date. You've been waiting as a dealer owner for 30 days, and you're just waiting patiently. You're like, finally, I'm going to be able to make some money on these fucking cars. I'm losing my ass off. And then it's time. You have the actual conference call for this. And they present you with that video. Now, this is confidential because this is owners, so they got to see it first. At that point, how many owners of dealerships, Jaguar dealerships, went, oh my God, we're absolutely doomed? Probably 99% of them. Probably 99% of them. Then somehow that passed on and they actually released it to the public. This means that this moron, Danny Glover, or whatever his name is, the Glover guy, hired an agency to make a commercial. This agency made the commercial. They filmed it. They wrapped it. They edited. They post-produced it. They showed it to the client, Jaguar, Glover, and he went, this is fantastic, guys. And then he showed it to everyone at Jaguar Corporate, and everyone in Jaguar Corporate was like, incredible. This is incredible. I can't believe we're going to sell so many cars. This is a great commercial. So already, I need you to understand that these marketing meetings is not just one person. There's like 20 people in each team that's doing this. So there's like probably 20 to 30 people that went to the commercial one, and 20 to 30 people that did the rebranding, and 20 to 30 people that work at the core marketing of Jaguar, right? So all these people cleared it. Then the CEO cleared it. Then everybody cleared it and thought, this is the way to go. So that already shows you where the organization stands. For a lot of people don't understand this because you might be like, dude, I want to bet against Jaguar. I bet their price is going to go down. Jaguar is not a public company. Jaguar belongs to a company called Tata Motors, just like my squirrel. And Tata Motors is an Indian company. Tata Motors also owns other brands. But let's just say that Jaguar hasn't been in the greatest place in a long time. I myself, growing up, I remember being like 15 years old, and it was around 15 or 17, and it was around when the X-Type was coming out, the Jaguar X-Type. And that was like a cheaper Jaguar. And people looked at Jaguar like, this is a fancy brand, dude. Like, it might not be Aston Martin. Aston Martin is ungettable for us mortals, but at least a Jag you can buy. So they came out with a really cheap car, the Jaguar X-Type, and everybody loved it. I remember the excitement around that car and how everybody was like, dude, Jag is about to do things. Then they came out with their R cars, like the super fast ones, their AMG, if you will. And those were awesome. Like, some of those models are honestly, truly awesome. And they continue to push on. Back in the day, we used to look at Jag because it also belonged to Ford at some point. Ford is a really good investor, but it's a terrible car maker. And Ford, when they bought them, they basically just copied what Aston Martin was doing, and they just leveled it down. And they were like, "Here you go. Here's a Jaguar," and people liked it. Like, it worked until it didn't work anymore because other cars started to get really good, and the quality that you were getting in a Jaguar was kind of like a Lincoln in a luxury car, and people started to realize, and then it faded, and people started to become less and less interested in it and whatnot. So they haven't had like the best people managing their brand or their marketing or anything in the company. They did have their moments. They did have the F-Type with the V8 that had the pop-ups and all that stuff. Great. Awesome, fun car. Great. But other than that, it's been shit. Absolute garbage. Nothing else. And Tata Motors now owns them. So if you want to short anything, you're going to have to short Tata Motors. And the problem is Tata Motors already is at all-time lows. So I don't know how much upside you're going to get on your short if you're planning on betting against them. But I can for sure tell you that Jaguar is going to go out of business. No one's going to buy this car. Like, just like I'm telling you that Ford's going to go out of business eventually, and all these other guys. It's hard to believe and understand because these massive companies, we've lived with them for so long, but it's coming. It's coming. But specifically Jaguar, you can't compare. These guys are on the way out, right? 8,000 cars a year is nothing. You're not Ferrari. You're not selling like a $400,000 car as a base. So you're done. Then imagine the people that work at car dealerships. A Jaguar car dealerships. This is the first thing I imagine because I have a few friends that work in different places in Jaguar dealerships. So I imagine them walking in after all of this is going on. All of their customers are calling them, asking them what the fuck is going on. And they're just walking into the office. All of them are like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So you walk in, and the first thing is you got to say hi to the person at the reception. And it's already like a hi. You know, it's awkward. Hi. And you got to keep walking. And then you keep walking. And then the first person that you're friends with at the dealership comes up to you and goes, dude, did you see the fucking commercial that we just released? Yeah, dude, my customers won't stop calling me. This is terrible. What are we going to do? I don't know, man. I think we should start looking for another job. What are we going to do here? We already don't sell any cars. And now this, everybody fucking hates us. I know, dude, this is terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. How am I going to continue to live this life of a car dealer that doesn't sell any cars now with this on top of it? Like, probably move on. Then there's the other people. The people that own a Jaguar, that are proud owners of Jaguars and have been for a long time. Those guys were like, dude, you know, my car represents freedom. The Jag brand, like, fucking aggressive. It's luxury from the past. It's awesome. Like the king and the prince of England, like driving one, all that stuff. That's what it means. When I get behind my Jag, people look at me and they think royalty. Well, surprise. Now, whenever you get in your car, we all look at it like it's one of those flags with a lot of colors. Nothing wrong with it, but that's what it represents. And that's probably what those people didn't want to deal with, right? So let's get really into where the problem lies here. The problem lies in the old marketing companies. All marketing companies and all establishment companies have to follow a certain agenda. That agenda is to make trends, whatever, a thing. The thing is, no one has anything against it. Like, no one cares. I have friends that, you know, dress up differently and whatnot. You probably know one or two, and you've seen them on my Instagram, maybe on a YouTube video here and there. I don't care. I love everybody. My freedom ends where I'm infringing on your rights. And I would never do that because I know how that's like. So the problem that they're having right now, an issue understanding, is that people just don't want to be fed this bullshit over and over and over and over again at all times in everything you do. Why are we so interested in guiding everything that we do for the 1.2% of the population? Are we really trying to do something nice? Are they really trying to take care of these people, or are they just trying to fucking absolutely put everyone against each other? Because that's what they're doing. Even the people that are trans or belong to the LGBTQYZ community, all those guys don't care about throwing it in your face. It's only very few people that have been poked at the head because they're weak in the mind, and they don't understand that everything they see on TV is absolute propaganda. Like, if you watch the news, everything you're watching on the news is a lie, or it's made to get a reaction from you. period. Nothing else. So the worst thing you can do for your life is watch the news and really think that those people that work on the news, that Jimmy Kimmel, that any of these people that get paid by Hollywood are on your side. They're the marketing team for the company that we run. And that marketing team right now is focused on these type of things. Why? They want everybody to fucking hate each other and to look like non-tolerant assholes. But the reality is no one cares. And there's a few people that have been made an example, and these people are losing their mind because they've been poked at so much that when you ask someone, and tell me what's so fucking strange, like you see a fat guy that looks like a blob, like, because this is a case. I'm not trying to dunk on anyone. I'm just talking specifically about this one guy that looks like a blob, and you don't know if it's a guy or a girl because it's losing, like, it's fat, it's wearing like super baggy clothes. The hair is like, could be either way. There's no beard, but you don't know if they just shaved or not. And you just go in, it's like, hey, dude, I'm not a dude, I'm a woman. Dude, all you need to do is say, I'm not a dude, I'm a woman. And then I'll call you a woman. I'll call you a cat. I'll call you an elephant, whatever the fuck it is, as long as you tell me. No one is here to go and pursue you. And no one is here to try to fucking destroy you. No one. And this is something that's really, really annoying because it's going and it's putting everyone against each other and getting to these crazy points. Now, the Jaguar rebrand is absolutely stupid. It's one of the stupidest things you can possibly do. The greatest thing you can do is to relate a brand to people is to tell a story. And if you're going to tell a story, it's got to start somewhere where people can identify with that story. And a lot of marketing companies will tell you, well, sir, after spending $180 million with us, we can't do anything for you because you don't have a story. So creating a story is really the number one problem in marketing. And this is a fucking perfect proof of it, that this man is getting paid so much money and also the commercial agency to do something that makes no sense. So the first thing you do, you have to relate people to your product. You have to introduce them to something that they're going to be attracted towards. And you're using that to attract the most amount of people possible into whatever you're doing. This is a free marketing class for all of you motherfuckers. All right. And the reason why I say it is, for example, I'm not selling you on anything. I'm not even giving you the website. I'm just saying we open a website where we do trading live, and we have a trading course and many different services. And everybody would think, release the website, tell everyone on social media, and then wait for the money to roll. But instead, what we did is we need to relate this to everyone. So what are we going to do? We're going to trade live with people and see what the reaction is. If people enjoy this type of environment that we're building and what we're doing and the results of what we're showing them, definitely when we drop a product that is related to that, they're going to be already attached to it from the start. And it worked. In here, there's none of that. They're not going towards any part of the population that's significant so they can get people on board. What they're doing makes no sense whatsoever. It's actually like one of the worst marketing exercises I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that you're doubling down only shows, and no one's going to tell you, because again, all of the car YouTubers can't say anything because they're not going to get loaned another car. They're not. Car brands have gotten political. I don't know if I told you this, guys, but in my stories on Instagram, I was saying I made one fucking story about politics. And I said, I didn't even support one side or the other. And I said, if you're going to vote in these elections, make sure to vote for something that matters. Don't vote for stupid things. Vote for stuff that really affects you every single day. Like abortion. Abortion affects me every day, all day, everywhere I go. So it's very important that you vote for that. The economy, I never deal with the economy. I never buy anything. I never eat anything. So I just did like that kind of joke. Maybe a terrible joke. Maybe. Not saying it's great. It's one of the greatest jokes I've ever seen. I know a lot of great jokes. That is not one of the best jokes I've ever done. There's plenty of jokes I need to do. Not that one. That doesn't work. Sorry, that also didn't work. But I'm working on my Trump. So these guys, so whatever. I put that story up, and I just said it because it's so frustrating that they're making people not live in reality, right? Like in California. In California, for example, our governor, Gavin Newsom, that's what he's called, this fucking scumbag, said that he's going to put a bill up so he can block Trump from taking away California's great things. Like the homeless, like the insane crime that we have, like the destroyed roads that we have, like the less police officers that we have that never pick up if you call 911, like the poor energy infrastructure that we have, like the higher prices on gas, like the higher prices on everything. Is that what you're trying to protect from anything? Because what the fuck are you trying to protect? You haven't done anything right? So there are people that will vote for that, even living in California. Now, there are examples of idiots that I know, women. I know a woman, for example, that told me she voted for Gavin Newsom for re-election because he was handsome. So we do deserve what we're getting here in California. We're the stupidest fucking people on earth. There's no doubt. But we should at least know that. We should know, hey, we live in absolute garbage. Everything has changed and we live in shit, right? But no, people live in other realities. And I think that's part of the problem. They're selling everybody that there's this real war against like transsexual people and regular people. No one gives a fuck. We're tired of hearing it. That's it. Putting it in our face. And this is the best example of that. So these people that live in this bubble don't understand that what they're seeing executed by people like Glover guy is absolute insanity. Targeting 1.2% of the entire population to get more customers is the stupidest thing anyone can do, and say out loud, this person should be fired. The entire PR and marketing teams should be fired. The people who did the commercial should be fired. And everyone that approved it should be fired. Because it makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. And they're never going to stop. I'm telling you, more and more car companies are getting into this political thing. And when I made that story talking about politics, I had a car company take away $25,000 on a deal that we were doing because they said, we don't do politics. I said, they don't do politics. I looked them up online and I found, no, you do politics. In 2022, you donated to the Biden-Harris administration, and you're donating again so that you can keep the incentives for electric cars. So you're lying. You're literally taking away people's money just to make your point and to get the result that you want. Now, here's the deal. There might be one or two people that don't give a fuck about money out there that are willing to say these things out loud. And I think the phoniness online right now, it's getting out of control. And it's supporting this type of bullshit. The phoniness online, it's insane. Remember, social media used to be so much fun because you used to see what your friends were eating, what they were doing, like in fucking where they slept. Like all these things that connect you with people that you knew and that you liked. Now you open your Instagram account and they're selling you something instantly. There's your friend that does real estate. Hey guys, welcome to this property that I have. And he starts like, no, there's your friend that does car reviews. Hey guys, check out this car that's behind me. I don't know why I'm in front of the camera when I'm trying to show you a car. Like it's losing the allure. It's losing the appeal so much. And it is because now Hollywood is in control of all of this. And the same thing is happening with cars. And it's getting to the point where it's unbearable to do anything with any real companies. And to myself, I want to say, and this is something that I had been thinking for a very long time, I don't want to do that shit. I don't need it and I don't depend on it. So to me, I'm going back to basics. I'm going back to the Alejandro that just opened a fucking account to tell people about what interested me. Not to sell you anything. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I don't give a fuck about how many followers I have or anything. It makes no sense to sell your soul to the devil and to make enough money when you don't have your freedom of speech and your uniqueness. If you lose your individuality, if you lose what makes you you, then you're just one in a trillion. And right now, everyone on social media, from the things that they're learning from people like this dude, which is completely wrong. And again, as an exercise, just to sell, market, anything, this is one of the worst executions. And people should be mad at that. Not about the trans. Should be mad at the fact that this dude still has a job, that people are taking them seriously, and that they're not realizing how big of a fuck up it is. Because then what's the point of what you're doing? It's not selling more cars. What is the point of what you're doing? They're killing us, boys. They're killing us. And what is Jaguar doing? Like, they used to be cool. Now they're fucking done. Done. Now you're going to go electric, dude. You need to get into high, massive amounts of production. We talked about this forever, right? With Tesla. You want to get into the electric car game? The only way that it's going to work out, and the reason why Tesla is blowing the fuck up stock-wise right now, is because Tesla has the model down. You need to produce a lot of cars in order for all prices to come down and your margins to grow fat. Said it for a long time. How is Jaguar that sells 8,000 cars a year going to do that? This is the worst. And by the way, as a business move, this is a terrible business move. How are you going to do that? How are you going to be able to make your margins work when you only move this amount of units? It makes no sense. Like Ford's having that problem right now, and maybe they realized, or maybe they haven't, or maybe they will. But the fact that they're slowing down their production on EVs is going to make their EVs more expensive in time, and Tesla's EVs are going to be cheaper in time. And this is why the Chinese model also works for the Chinese companies like Xpeng and like all these guys, Xiaomi, because they're producing a ton. And if you don't get into that, ICE cars are going to go up in price tremendously. And like I said, the peasant car is going to be the electric car eventually for everyone. But no one understands that. And that's going to put a lot of companies out of business. A lot of companies out of business. And they don't have to do this type of advertising at all. It's terrible. It's so bad. Either way, let's get into some comments right here. My guy, I'm sorry. I saw younger and wealthier seems like oxymoron. That's right. There's no wealthy people that are young. That's another great point that you're bringing to the table. Younger people are not wealthier than older people. That's why you cater to older people in the past. That's why Aston Martin still does the green with the brown interior, which, by the way, I'm old enough to now like it. So there's that. You would think that the Bud Light situation would have been a lesson for people. What about Target? It's been one after another after another. It's kind of crazy. Ed Powell, it's what's happening, my friend. It is so silly. It's so ridiculous. So Jaguar is selling people with terrible sense of fashion now. That's kind of illegal. What's weird to me is that Tata in India doesn't do this bullshit. Of course not, because this is for the idiots. In other countries, they don't play this game. In Russia, they don't play this game. In China, they don't play this game. In Dubai, they don't play this game. We only play this game here. I want to see this campaign go live in Dubai or Qatar. No? That'd be interesting. They obviously don't. You should do a CEO of the Jaguar skit like you did the Lamborghini one. Dude, that is an actual phenomenal idea. I've been dying to do the reaction of the people, like every level of person that is involved in this. Also, I imagine I see a couple of friends that are British YouTubers that want to say something, but they can't. I want to. I like to push those buttons. Jaguar had arguably a better chance at trying to come out with new products for their already dwindling market share and customer base. That's right. Pure entertainment, such as the yeah, absolutely terrible. Such a great point, Salo. Dealers have the unfortunate collateral of this clown show. Can you imagine owning a car dealership right now at Jaguar, and then you saw that commercial just dropping in front of you, and you were like, wait. You can't be serious. They're like, no, dude, trust me. Mr. Glover knows what he's doing. He's an expert. Archie, what's happening, dude? How are you? So good to see you. I hope you're still here, man. Fucking miss you. More car companies nowadays seem to go in the bankrupt path. How can the CEO and executive accept such strategies? Is the education of corporate that awful? Yeah. And the problem is corporate is terrible because everyone's being indoctrinated into this bullshit idea that this is what works. When I was at the end of dealing with YouTube, I had a guy at some point when I had my channel, this one, and my Spanish one, fucking rocking, was getting 10 million views a week and shit, all that stuff. When I had all that stuff going, I got into the top 10 creators program. and they put me with this guy who was incredible. He taught me the ins and outs of YouTube. He would call me, and he used to watch my channel, so he understood me. Awesome kid. Then he left, and they changed him for someone else. They changed it for this woman that had a name that was in Spanish, and she didn't speak a dick of Spanish. And she was like, my pronouns are her, she, right? Which is already another red flag, huge red flag. You want to tell someone you're a moron? Put those in your profile. No one needs to know, unless no one can tell what the fuck you are, which is fine. No one needs to know, like, upfront, hey, I have balls. Like, I'm not putting balls on my profile. I'm putting Beanie's balls. That's my new dog there. But I'm not putting balls on my profile. I'm not putting my political alliance in my profile. Like, that's not relevant. So unless no one knows what genre you are when you walk somewhere, I don't think there's a need for you to say that. But this woman had it there. I would talk to her and I would ask her questions. And she was one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever talked to in my life. And this is a person that's in charge of a large YouTube program with large YouTubers, dude. It's embarrassing. Corporate America is fucking embarrassing and has been for a while. It looks like a gender-neutral tampon commercial. Josh. Oh. The worst case is Jaguar Land Rover pulls out of the United States market. Not so sure about going out of business overall. Their posted year end of profit March was a positive place. No, I'm not in. I haven't read their financials. I can't imagine how that's possible, but let's go with that. And if you're leaving the United States, where are you going to market this? In India? In China? The Middle East? In Europe? But Europeans are broke. Everyone's buying Chinese cars. So no. Reckon they're pulling a stunt. Let's do a stupid. I don't think so. Because these guys, you normally pull a stunt and they say there's no publicity that's bad publicity. And that doesn't work. That's not true. This is bad publicity. You can execute a terrible publicity campaign and destroy absolutely everything for yourself. People talking without any fundamentals, no problem. But you being the source of that and not going back and going like, all right, we fucked up, it's a big problem. Jaguar, I'm telling you, whoever runs Jaguar is a moron. I filmed the car. Oh, hang on a second. Archie, are you still here? You got to tell us a little bit about it. See, here you go. Not such bad thing as publicity. I promise. Ask Target, ask Bud Light. There are bad things for publicity. Ask anyone that owns a large company. There are bad things for publicity. I have a company, and in that company, one of my partners did a fucking ad for a government that didn't disclose or anything. That, trust me, bad publicity does bad things for you, like bad ones. So yeah, Diddy would probably disagree. Reckon they're doing a stunt, rubbish marketing campaign, possible logo, knowing people will watch and talk about it. Here we are. The brand hasn't been relevant for a while, not had people talking. Well, I agree with that. There's a different thing when you're doing marketing. You want to focus on different things. One, reach. You want to get to as many people as possible to know that you exist. Two, present the story so that you can grab as many of those people and pull them into your story, right? That's the second thing you need to do. The third thing you need to do is transform the sale, like transform it into a sale. Make those people that know you exist do something, like you do something in order for them to buy your product. That's called a call to action. They're not doing any of those things here. None. All they're doing is probably I'm going to be scandalous and show people. But if you are, and you're going towards a genre that people absolutely hate, it's not going to do well. So no, it's not they're not, like I said, these are not good marketing people. They're not doing the right thing. Like, you can talk about something. Jake Paul is phenomenal at it. Like when he puts the fat belly on himself, that's That's shocking publicity. That's bad. That doesn't have any effect. And then just more people know about you because they want to hate on you, etc. That works. But doing this does not work. Oh boy. Oh boy. As a loyal Jag customer, 2 F-Types and F-Pace SVR with glorious supercharged 5-liter V8 since June 2022, I am appalled and disgusted with the woke agenda. And how can you not, dude? Which coincidentally happened after Tata founder Ratan Tata passed away October 9th, and looks like they have been hijacked by BlackRock, Vanguard, ESG, and Day. There you have it. Founder of the company dies, BlackRock walks in, and they're like, all right, boys, let's get everyone ready. And by the way, I love that I'm doing like I'm bashing colorful outfits and shit, wearing the most colorful outfit you can possibly wear. Oh my God, that's really good information, dude. Thank you so much for sharing. Nah, thank you for being here, D. Jaguar now means woke war. Well, you can start it with an F, and that'll go there. If you want confirmation the new branding isn't a troll, check out from Google AI search. Yes, Adrian Mardell, the CEO of Jaguar Land Rover, is a member of the LGBTQ community. There you go. More thing to support that. Absolutely, that's the case. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to get people into my side of the trade. And it just didn't work. He has spoken publicly about his experiences coming out and inspiring others. Oh, well, he's inspiring me to fucking vomit at the marketing exercise. Not at what they represent, at the marketing exercise. It's insane. Imagine a commercial of a coupe Jag, rear-wheel drive, V8 monster burning tires, and taking on a Mercedes or a BMW. Now, they could have just done that. That would have been awesome. It would have worked. People would have liked it. He has been vocal advocate for LGBTQ plus rights and representation. He marched in the Birmingham Pride Parade, in May 2023. First ally CEO to do so. He had championed DEI initiatives at JLR. There you go. So there you have it. It's pretty simple. No one has talked about Jaguar this much since the XJ220. It's true. Absolutely true. But sadly, it's not a good thing. Totally agree. The new boss has pushed the agenda of his agenda to his company, which will result in bankrupt company. This is really interesting that now we're finding out with more clarity where this is going and where it's coming from, right? Because at the beginning of this live, I'm just like focused on how bad of an exercise for marketing it is and that it makes no sense. But the fact that the CEO has an agenda, I mean, what else do you need, right? Like, dude, I'm going to burn everyone's money just so that I can be accepted everywhere. Dude, we love you. You don't need, we don't need commercials. We don't care about who you like to bang, how you like to dress. If you don't like your balls, if you like your titties, we don't care. We really don't. We want you to be happy and we would never violate your rights, but don't push this fucking shit on your product to bankrupt your company and also destroy everyone that buys these cars. Like, there's enthusiasts in here that truly are telling you this. Believing that differences create creative strength. No, he has advocated for the LGBTQ plus community at internal events and in company-wide messages. This is incredible. Incredible that we're finding this. Hey, man, what are your thoughts on Peanut and House Tata? That's, by the way, fucking terrible, man. Terrible, terrible. That's always been my fear, and that's why I've been keeping Tata away from anyone. And also because I don't trust people. I feel like someone's just going to break into my house and do crazy shit. But mostly terrible. Terrible, terrible. You all mad about Jag? You have to realize that whatever marketing strategy they're doing the past 20 years hasn't been working. Yeah, but it's not a marketing strategy. Their cars are shit, dude. Their cars are shit. When you fall into no man's land on your product is not well done. And this is something that people have to understand about marketing too. And this is something I've learned as I've grown different companies and created different things. And right now I'm focusing. We have we invested in this brand called Lumen. And with Lumen, we just launched lemonade here in the United States, by the way. It's Trader Joe's. Like, you go to these stores and you can get it. We have like wellness shots. But aside from the wellness shots, we just introduced lemonade with protein. So it's got, I think it's 14 grams of protein, 16 grams of protein right now. And I'm going to be doing the marketing for that to expand in the United States. And I'm excited. And the reason why I'm excited is because I get to tell a great story with a great product, with great branding that has an insane story as is. And I can relate it to a lot of people because I personally am one of their customers. Like, that's the way to go. Like, you find a great product that's different from everything else, and then you put it out. And marketing teaches you how to make a great product. You don't think about a lemonade with protein out of nowhere. You're thinking about it like, what is something that I would love to have, first of all? Then, what is something that people would also love to have when they're doing the same thing I'm doing? That's second. So you can't say that this is a proper marketing exercise because it's not. It's not. And again, you can't price your cars at above 100. Like, no one's buying your cars right now. How are you going to do an unproven car maker that has had many fires on their electric cars going to go fully electric with a low fucking production number series? Like, it makes no sense. None, I promise you. As someone that does this for a living, it doesn't work. Yeah, it's not working. It's absolutely true. But they're killing the brand with weird agenda and terrible cars. The terrible cars are mostly killing the brand. This is just like the icing on the cake. It's like, you already killed yourself. Now they're coming to shoot you once you're down, son. They changed their name to Jaguar. Give them a chance to turn it around. I'll say this, Smath. I'd like to be proven wrong. I do. I just, on this one, this is something that I know really well. Like, this is one of the things that I do. It's not going to go well. Altogether, Jaguar is going to declare bankruptcy sooner than anyone could imagine. I promise. Poor Jag dealers. I can't imagine what those guys have to deal with. The last good car they made was that V8 F-Type. I agree. That was pretty good. This will be the end. I agree. I agree, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, I thought you lived in Texas. I lived in Texas, but now I'm back in Newport Beach, unfortunately, back in California. My wife wanted to come back really bad, so I'm here. Very happy. Very happy. Glad we're only selling Range Rover Defenders Discovery from now on. RIP Jag. Glad you don't have to sell those, dumb. Good for you. That sounds like a bullet that you dodged, my friend. Tell you're so right. Nobody gives a shit about LGBTQ existing. Live your life and I'll live mine. But why segments an entire brand to appease one group? Because this is what I'm saying. No one is wondering anymore what doesn't make any sense. No one. No one's wondering. Like, no one is literally looking at what makes sense. I'm going to give you a dumb example, right? Because they talk about this a lot on the news. Like I said, you should never watch the news in the United States. Never, 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 never. Or TV in general. If you're watching a movie or anything like that, awesome. But TV shows or news is just straight up propaganda, nothing else. Like, people in China don't watch the news because they know they're state-owned. We are more ignorant than people in China because we don't realize that that's the case. Now, the stupidity comes from things that are simple to realize and see, right? So you can catch someone do it, like, you can catch their bullshit and their propaganda when something doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you this, and a lot of people are going to disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I am here for you always. I don't care if you disagree or agree with me. I'm just telling you a story. You might disagree and be fine with it. You might not. That's cool. But I'll say this. Russia, they sold us that Putin was a fucking monster and that we needed to stop him because if we didn't, he was going to continue to get more territories in Europe, right? That's what we all agree on. That's cool. Forget about the story, the history of Russia. Forget about the Ukrainian history. Forget about like who caused what. Forget about all of those things. They're telling me I need to spend your tax money in this to avoid Europe being invaded and taken over by the evil man. Because that's not what good people do. Cool. 2 years later, they go, no, a year later, They go and tell, well, in reality, it's 2 years later because everything happened. There's Israel invading Palestine, bombing the living shit out of them. Call it whatever you want. That's fine, right? That's happening. But then Israel turned around and started bombing Iran and Lebanon, other countries. Okay, we didn't support Putin doing that. And now here is, a lot of people will say, but Alejandro, you don't know the history of the poor Jews and all that stuff. I understand. But if you eliminate the history and you listen to what Bibi said, Netanyahu, he was saying that he needs the south of Lebanon to be Israel's, right? So he officially is trying to take over other territories. So if you think about it, we are telling everyone that we need to stop Putin because he's taking over territories in Europe. And we are telling everyone you should support Netanyahu because he's taking territories in other places. Like, do you understand that doesn't make any sense? Then you want to see more propaganda and shit that doesn't make any sense? Right in the middle of election years, 2022, I don't know if you guys remember this because apparently the cycle is 2 years. In 2022, when Elon bought X, there was elections that year, like for Congress and all these other crap. And what happened? Mark Zuckerberg opened a brand new social network that looked just like Twitter called Threads. And everybody started making propaganda saying that everybody was leaving Twitter and they were, you know what? And they were going to Threads. That's what they all said, right? Do you guys remember that? Okay. So if you remember that, let me show you this. This is just pure, delicious, and amazing propaganda. Okay. Let me grab my screen and share it with you guys. 1 second. I got it right here. Okay. So this is in Spanish. I'm sorry. So 2 years ago, Threads, 100 million people are going to Threads 2 years ago. This year now, with elections and everything, Blue Sky is the new Twitter. Everybody's leaving Twitter to go to this brand new thing by Jack Dorsey. They don't, like, it's in your face, dude. They have no respect for you. The point in this is they have an agenda. The agenda is to create confusion, chaos, and hate amongst all of us. All of us, all sorts of part of the community, whether you're white, you're black, Latin, gay, not gay, binary, straight, like whatever the fuck you are, they're trying to create frictions between us. And the reason why is rather simple. Right in front of all of our faces, they're stealing the largest amount of money ever. This is the biggest wealth transfer that's ever happened in history. It's happening right in front of your eyes. And no one knows. I'll give you an example. In Greece, a friend of mine in Greece, 2012, 2013, when they closed the banks and took their money, my friend calls me and goes, dude, it's Friday. They called me from the bank and they said that they're going to take my money away. What do I do? I said, just wait. I don't think they're going to do that. That doesn't sound right. Long story short, 2 weeks go by, or however long it goes by, and they decide, all right, we're going to open the bank again, but we're going to take 30% of your money. Anything that you had in the bank, we're going to take 30%. Greece fucking went mental. Mental. They burned everything, right? So they did that when they took away 30% of whatever money they had that time. That time at the bank. And right now, and you tell people this, and people go like, motherfuckers, dude, I would never forgive him. Right now, you all think inflation is an accident, but they've stolen 30 to 50% of your money in your bank account, and also the money you're making today and the money you're making tomorrow, in order for them to steal large amount of cash that creates inflation. That's what they're doing, just so you know. So their agenda right here is to confuse everyone and have people go fucking mentally crazy just to steal trillions of dollars. That's why. I wonder, is the podcast with Parker still exist? I don't know what happened. I wonder. Oh, yeah, hopefully I'll see Parker soon. I honestly, I had to get myself a job. I was so bored. I had nothing to do. Don't tell my wife. And it was just, I just didn't know what to do because I kind of like retired from retired. So I gave myself a little job. So Monday, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I do trading live for 4 hours with everyone. So at least I have something to do, and I'm enjoying it. So that changed my schedule a lot. And also, that also made me realize how much I enjoy my days the way that they are, because I don't have to do anything pretty much. Thank God. I'd say that's a pretty good life. So I get to spend my day doing things that I love, like going on a run, going on a walk, working out, seeing my wife, going on a hike with the dog, cooking, grilling, all that stuff. So I'm sure it'll come back. It's just, sorry, it's been good. That F-type art was nice. The crackles, dude, really was. It really was. It's as though the outrage and backlash is the reason they do it. No. Well, yeah, they do it for that. Exactly. So this is exactly what we're saying. They're doing it for that, so that everyone thinks that we all hate the LGBTQI community, but we don't. Like I said, we love those guys. We support them. We want them to do whatever. Listen, if you're crazy and you're one of those people that scream with the green hair and all that, that's cool, dude. Like, just fucking get out of my face. But we love everyone. I think anyone is free to do whatever they want until they violate my freedom. And I feel the same way about me to others. And I think everyone should look at it the same way. But this is what they're doing. They're just trying to create a narrative of hate. And we don't have hate. Jag makes a great sports cars and SUV with awesome V8 engines. They don't know how to market them to the auto enthusiast. Their marketing has been terrible for the past 2 years. I would agree. And I don't know how long this guy has been working there, but clearly he's not the guy to do it. I now have a 2024 F-Type in BRG 10. I don't know what that is. Awesome car, pure joy. I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. So glad. Anytime Alec goes live, I'm happy. I've been a fan since 2016. I'm glad you're here. I used to work for Jag. Not sure what they're thinking with this. Also, want to shout out Sophia P. I love you. And shout out to Sophia. Of course, Slate. Thank you for being here, dude. I appreciate you, especially for all that long. It's almost been 10 years, dude. This is how old I am. I meet people that are 22. I met a guy named Nathan a few days ago around here. I went shopping for the dog, and I got out of my car, and Nathan stops, and he's driving a cool BMW, an M4. And he's like, Alejandro? I'm like, yeah. He goes, can I take a picture with you? I was like, if you want to waste your memory, absolutely, let's do it. Take a picture. And I'm like, what's your name, Nate? And I look at him. I'm like, he looks really young. And he's like, dude, I've been a fan for a long time, like since blah, 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 which is kind of like this, like 8 years. And I go, how old are you, Nate? And he goes, 22. I was like, God damn, dude. So you were a fucking baby when you started watching me. God damn. God damn. They are late to the game. They expected this, though. Hasta Argentina. Cheers. I'm just looking at comments that are good. You got a new dog. Nice. Not forgotten Fiona. We'll never forget Fiona. Look what I have always here with me and next to my bed. I have this. I don't know how many of you guys know, but my first passed away 3 months ago. We were really sad for a long time. I mean, also before, because she was really old and had dementia. So we were like, we're not going to get a dog just to get a dog, whatever. And we ended up finding Vinny, the pit bull, the cutest. I haven't had a male dog ever. Wow. He's so cute. Unbelievable. It's an April Fool's joke marketing exercise to get people talking about him. That would actually be really good for them. Here in the Midwest, I don't meet people asking or saying their pronouns. Never been to SoCal, but I get the feeling it's a bubble. It is. It is. I don't know how the people in California, that is the best example of being completely brainwashed. Why would anyone vote for the same destruction of the place? Like the gas prices are insane. I lived in Texas. So I can tell you this. I lived in Texas for 3 years and I loved it. Loved it. My wife hated it. I loved it for different reasons, not political at all. She didn't like the weather and she didn't like the animals. Like the reality is it's not easy having scorpions in your house and snakes, and it's not easy. I used to be terrified of them, but that helped me grow. And I really like all sorts of animals except snakes. Snakes are assholes, dudes. Don't ever trust a snake. Like I'm talking about the dog, the animals, not the people, obviously. But yeah, People in California live in a bubble because why? Like right now, they're floating that Kamala Harris is going to run to be the next governor instead of Gavin Newsom. Why would we want what's been destroying California? In 2012, when I started buying real estate, they didn't do all these things. And a lot of people forget that. I saw it firsthand. I started complaining about homelessness in 2015, 2014. And the reason why is because I own buildings. So I got calls from all of my offices with people saying, dude, there's a homeless guy here and he won't leave. I called the cops, but they're not showing up. So you start noticing trends. Why would anyone like a place that's getting less secure, less safe, like crime is going up like crazy? Forget about the illegal immigrants. Like the crime is just insane. Streets are garbage. The traffic is monstrous. The gas prices are huge, like insane. Water prices are insane. We don't have water, even though we're next to the ocean, which is, by the way, that is absolute propaganda. If in Dubai they have water because they're next to the ocean, California has more money and they can also do the same thing. So it's absolute bullshit. Like it's all these retarded things. And people just don't question it. I don't understand. So yes, we're retarded in California. We absolutely are because we like living in shit. I wish I could say we're not, but we are because we keep asking for the same dick. I don't understand it. I really don't. Ratan Tata was proud of Jaguar. If he was alive, I wonder what he would have thought of this. That's interesting to say. Fuck. Bud Light used to be my go-to, but I couldn't relate to them anymore. Yeah, I mean, but I have a friend, one of my best friends loved Bud Light, and he stopped drinking Bud Light after that. Like, that was the beer that he would go anywhere and be like, do you have a Bud Light? I don't know why. To me, it tastes like piss. I like Mexican drink. Modelo, Sol, Victoria. Come on, especially the dark ones. My pronouns are big schlong. Good for you. They're the same pronouns as Vinny. If they did a real vintage vignette, if they did a real vignette of Jaguars over the years, starting with their first models and flowing through the most moderns, I thought there was more about that, and I'm sorry. I just watched the commercial. I'm confused and disappointment. We got a funny shaped rock to look at. What the fuck? Barry, there's no point. These are legitimately, that's the problem of the commercial, and that's the problem with the entire marketing campaign. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Hey, not all of us are stupid. I'm trans, but that ad was shit. And Ella, no one is saying that, by the way. Like I said, who gives a shit? Like, you be you, you do you. No one should care. And no one's saying they're stupid. The ad is fucking stupid. The fact that they're just targeting 1.2% of the population is stupid when you're trying to create more sales. So whenever you find those contradictions in what they're trying to do with reality, that's when you know there's something beyond reality. There's an agenda. So with all the love in the world, Ella, absolutely. And you know that. Ale, show us your watch collection again. That was a good video. Fuck, I have so many more now. And now we have like the big boy ones. We have the $8,000 ones. S-type and R-type and XFR, former owner. How sad, bro. CEO is on some Diddy type of shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Bro, I love your Mexican street vendor blanket sweater. I have to... I'm pretty sure this is like the cheapest Amazon original thing ever. I'll be going to Trader Joe's later today if I can find it. Hang on, I'll tell you what it is, just so you see it. Drink Lumen. Let me share this with you. These are the lemonades with protein. So if you guys want to give them a shot, also 15% off. Fuck yeah. We're in Whole Foods, Food and Wine Island. I mean, many things. So so I shouldn't say it, but we're going to up the protein higher than the 12 grams. I think we're able to do 14 or 16 now. So 12 grams, clear protein. This is fish protein, and you cannot taste the fish, which also has other really great elements to it. And these are the flavors. My favorite, without a doubt, the lemon chili, the mango chili. Dude, these are all lemonades. Like, you come out of the gym and you're like, dude, I want a fucking lemonade, which sounds ridiculous. and then you take your 12 grams of protein with you. So I appreciate it if you go see it. Dude, it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't have anything against those the LGBTQ plus or whatever. Fine, do it as you want. But there's too many people on the crusade right now. Peter, former Jag R8 rider. I agree, Primitive, but I would say it's not, like I said, it's not them. It's just like bad actors. It's bad actors trying to create like that sense of like hate amongst ourselves, and it'll never work because we are becoming more and more aware that that's the case. I used to work for Jaguar. Sales floor was always empty. I want them to win, but this isn't it. I low-key feel sorry for them. I understand, Slade. It's fucking crazy. Let's see this. I honestly think a good way to relaunch the brand would have been to bring Bunker's Halo, finally building the CX-75 2010, just like Lexus did with the LFA. Did I tell you that's an interesting idea? I'm not gonna say that. No, absolutely. That's a pretty good idea. I also think Jag is one of those companies like Ferrari. Remember, guys, I don't know how many of you guys have been around since the Let's Talk About Cars year, but I used to say when I saw the SP1, the Ferrari, that's the one-seater or the two-seater, right? The it's not street legal, but cool, retro vibe, whatnot. When I saw that, I said, if Ferrari sticks to designing retro-looking Ferraris with like modern technology, they're gonna sell like hotcakes. Then they did the SP3, which in my eyes, it's like a Testarossa La Ferrari. It's the greatest looking car I've ever seen in my fucking life, period. I think Jag can dive into that with their big classic cars. I think the problem with Jag is they don't know what segment of the population they want to feed what. So Aston Martin has a marketing problem too, so that everyone understands. Aston Martin doesn't know how to market to younger people. Aston Martin is targeting older people because they have more money. But if you build something sexy for younger people to drive around, like they're young, rich guys, like really young, rich, you're going to get the older people to follow. That's what I don't know why marketing agencies don't know this or don't contemplate it, but that's how it legitimately works. And I also feel like they're playing, whenever you create something that's called an in-between, you're never going to do well. And what exactly do I mean by that? Aston Martin's an in-between company, and this is why they're struggling so hard with their cars. It's an in-between company. What do I mean by that? Because they want to be like Ferrari, but they're not Ferrari. Like Ferrari's more extreme, more geared towards racing history and all that heritage that they had, Formula One, all that stuff, right? Ferrari's up there already doing that. Along with McLaren, you can say McLaren as a whole is also in the segment as Ferrari. Aston Martin is trying to compete with Ferrari, but at the same time with Bentley. And it's like in the middle. So this is for someone that's looking for an in-between those two things. And the problem is, because you're not going extreme luxury like Bentley, and you're not going extremely sexy, sporty, crazy fast, and all about driving like Ferrari, it's kind of hard to justify buying those cars. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have a market. Like there are people that buy them, obviously, but it's just not good enough. You need to focus on giving your brand its own identity. And I think they failed at doing so. While it's a much better execution on their end, Aston Martin's end, than any like Jag, for example, or anything else like that. I still think Aston Martin's like falling in that in between. And I think this is where Jag also was, a long time ago, where they didn't know who their market was. Another example of this is the McLaren, the McLaren GT, the little one that has like the golf course and all that stuff. It's like, who are you making that car for? And McLaren couldn't tell you either. And if they tell you, we made it for the wife, so it's kind of like our Roma, it's bullshit, because the brake pedal is a racing brake pedal. And women fucking hate that in general. I'm not saying all of them, but in general, they do. So you're falling every time you have an in-between type of product, it's not going to work. If I just gave you, again, to go back into my own plug and whatnot, if I gave you a trading course that teaches you what everyone else is teaching you, what's the value in it? Why are you going to pick mine? Maybe because you like me, and you will because you like the way I explain things. But if I need to create something different, I need to make something that's going to stand out. So what do? I want to make sure that I get the people that were like me years ago that didn't know anything about that and wanted to learn. No one is catering towards those guys. So I'm focusing on those guys. I have a clear audience that I want to bring in, and that's what they need to focus on. They're not doing that right. I thought they learned their lesson when Trump went. No one actually learned anything. That's a nice Jag. What kind of trance does it have? I saw a few jokes like this. They were ridiculous. Ridiculously good. Go woke, go broke. Why they didn't learn from Bud Light? Why, Jack? Just like they didn't learn from the Target thing, dude. It's insane. Red pill 100 makes more sense. Jaguar exterior and motor, Tesla Tech. Both parties make you poor. People vote for who will make them poor the slowest unless you invest. That's right. That's the problem, right? Because the system is based on that. Absolutely. What's wrong with green hair? Absolutely nothing. Nothing, unless you're yelling at me for no reason. What up, LA? Bitcoin to the moon. You were one of the first ones to get on that train. Cole, how you doing, buddy? Remember when I said I will sell my Lambo for 42 Bitcoins? 42 Bitcoins right now is $4.2 million. Fucking crazy. Was the Tyson and Paul a big thing for Netflix boxing? So it is a big thing for Netflix. The only thing that's going to work in the future is going to be sports. That's the only thing, because Hollywood can't compete anymore. And you guys are noticing they're going out of business. You see the news stations going out of business. Those are their studios that own the movie studios. So basically, they're all going to be going out of business. And you don't have to be a genius to understand this. If you spend $150 million and it takes you 2 years to make content that takes 1 hour and 30 minutes, and Joe Rogan spends 3 hours filming that, it's free, technically free, and he can upload it that day if he feels like it, and instantly get to 45 million people, you can't compete with them. You can't. And that's what Hollywood is doing right now. So the only things that are going to make it through are the sports channels. Live sports and entertainment is going to be everything. Regular traditional channels, media, all that stuff is going to consolidate into Netflix and probably 1 or 2 more stream services, and they're going to disappear. I promise you, along with cable companies. F1 Las Vegas, are you going? No, this year I'm staying. I got my new dog here. I'm so happy. I don't want to go anywhere for a little bit. Even my birthday's coming up in a few weeks, and my wife is like, let's go to Mexico. Let's go here. I'm like, I want to stay with Vinny. My first video I saw on your channel was the 918 Pokemon Go. That was, wow, that's quite the throwback. I wonder if the salesman at the dealer have to dress like Oh my God, dude, this is incredible. This is incredible. All righty. Just before I go, I saw this and caught my eye. What are your thoughts on Elon? Yet he's a brilliant, but goddamn, he's shady. He's seeking more intimate human data possible with chips, waking Alexa. I'll tell you guys this. I love Elon Musk. I think he's a genius. I think he's the greatest businessman that's ever existed and the best executor in the world. And that means the one that can do the most impossible things in the best way possible. I think he's proven it with all of his companies and everything that he's done, right? There's no argument there. Anything else beyond that is crazy. I'll say this. They destroyed this country for the past 4 to 8, 10 years. They've destroyed it on purpose. And there had to be a point where they were going to fix it. And they've sold us on what side destroyed everything. And now we're asking, because normally this is how it happens, you beg for them to fix it, which is what we're doing. And Elon is on that side. Elon is the creator of the brand new world infrastructure. So therefore, what we're officially going towards is what everyone said that would be the new world order, basically, kind of like going into a Chinese model of living. That's what we're going towards. And Elon is going to be the facilitator of that. And I'm not saying it's negative and I'm not saying it's positive, but this is what's happening. It's not like there's one party and the other party and they really go against each other and they want to help people. They both work in the same way for the same company, for the same people. And basically what's happening right now is the cleanup part. And the cleanup part, if you guys want to know what's happening, go check out what Argentina lived through this year once Javier Milei, their new president, took over. And that's most likely what we're going to face. But either way, this is an hour and 15 minutes. This was incredible. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with us. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon in hopefully an IndyCar race. Put some together with you guys. Would be fun. All righty. Take care. Have a good one. Thank you.